When this poor kid began tinkering with engines, nobody could have guessed that he would one day create some of the most expensive cars in the world. This is Frederick Henry Royce, born in 1863 in All Wilton, England. Henry was the youngest of 5 children, and his parents, James and Mary, ran a flour mill. However, James lacked business skills, and the family lived in poverty. Things got worse, and in 1867 they had to file for bankruptcy. Hoping to carve out a better life, the family moved to London. By this time, the 4-year-old Henry already had his first job as a bird scarer on a local farm, earning 6 pence a week. In 1872, disaster struck again when Henry's father passed away. Now, all the children had to chip in to make ends meet, including the 9-year-old Henry. He began selling newspapers and delivering telegrams. Henry's early years of poverty had a profound effect on him, and by the time he turned 15, he had completed only 1 year of school. As a young teenager, he began an apprenticeship with the Great Northern Railway Works. Despite not having a formal education, Henry grasped every opportunity to educate himself, studying algebra, French, and electrical engineering in his free time. However, after 3 years, he was forced to quit due to a lack of money. After quitting his apprenticeship, Henry briefly worked at a tool-making company in Leeds, and then for the Electric Light and Power Company in London. In 1882, he moved once again, this time to Liverpool, where he continued to work for the Electric Light and Power Company. His true ambition was to make engineering his full-time job. At 22 years old, he started a business with his fellow engineer friend Ernest Claremont. They named it F.H. Royce and Company, and for the next few years, they worked around the clock to make electrical components such as doorbells and dynamos. The company kept expanding, and by 1894 they were already making electric cranes too. But Henry's interest started taking him somewhere else: motor cars. While Henry Royce plays a vital role in the Rolls Royce story, the brand's name suggests there's also another person that we shouldn't forget, and that person is Charles Stuart Rolls. Born in 1877 in London's affluent Berkeley Square, Charles Rolls was the youngest child of Lord and Lady Langatic. Having developed a passion for engineering from a very early age, he went on to study mechanical engineering at Trinity College in Cambridge. Charles knew how to stand out, earning himself the nickname Dirty Rolls for tinkering with engines. During his studies, he was the first undergraduate to own a motor car after traveling to Paris to buy a Peugeot Phaeton at the age of 18. After graduating in 1898, Charles began working on a steam yacht and then at the London and Northwestern Railway. However, he was more interested in motoring, pioneering, and salesmanship. With financial support from his father, he opened one of the first car dealerships in Britain in 1903. He named the company C.S. Rolls & Co., and for the next couple of years, he dedicated himself to importing and selling Peugeot and Minerva cars. Business was booming, and Charles used the money to fund his sporting activities. Besides being an avid motorist, pioneer, and racer, he was also an eager aviator. Both of these hobbies were anything but cheap. In the early 1900s, Henry Royce decided to kick things up a notch. Armed with a second-hand 2-cylinder Decauville car, he didn't settle for mediocrity. No, sir, he aimed higher. He decided to build his car. Henry, with his innate desire for perfection, wasn't satisfied with the Decauville's construction faults. He vowed to do better. By the end of 1903, he had not only designed but also built his first petrol engine. The next year, the streets witnessed the rumble of the Royce 10-horsepower motor car. 2 decades had passed since Henry set up shop, and his first car was a hit. But success wasn't a destination for Henry. It was a journey. He built 3 cars, giving one to his partner Ernest Claremont and selling the other to shareholder Henry Edmonds. Now, enter Henry Edmunds, a shareholder and a friend of the man who was about to revolutionize the auto world, Charles Rolls. Having bought one of Royce's cars, Edmunds couldn't stop boasting to Rolls. Rolls, frustrated with only selling imports, saw an opportunity. Edmunds arranged a meeting, not knowing he was about to change the future of motoring forever. While Rolls was a fan of 3- and 4-cylinder cars, Royce's 2-cylinder creation left an indelible mark. In minutes, Rolls knew he had found what he was looking for. He took the motor car for a spin and agreed on the spot to sell as many as Royce could build. A peculiar duo was born, with a massive age gap and an education contrast. Royce, 41, largely self-taught. Rolls, 26, with a fancy Trinity College education. Their differences, however, formed the perfect blend. The success of their cars paved the way for the birth of Rolls Royce in 1906. The star of the show? The 6-cylinder Silver Ghost was hailed as the best car in the world within a year. But behind every great car is a great mind, and that mind was Claude Johnson, Charles's partner. Johnson, the managing director, knew vision was crucial. A publicity genius, he orchestrated stunts to showcase the quietness and reliability of Rolls-Royce motor cars. An early advert for the 40 to 50 horsepower motor car boldly declared it as the 6-cylinder Rolls-Royce, not one of the best, but the best car in the world. And thus, the phrase forever associated with Rolls-Royce was born. But let's not downplay the role of quality. Henry and Charles dedicated themselves to delivering the best, with Henry pushing himself to the limit. Renowned for his hard work and unconventional eating habits, Henry surprisingly outlived his partner Charles for a couple of decades. Now, Charles, the daredevil, had a growing interest in aviation. He tried to persuade Henry to develop an aero engine, but Henry wasn't keen on living out his aviation dreams. Charles, undeterred, bought a Wright Flyer aircraft and made over 200 flights. In 1910, he became the first person to make a non-stop double flight across the English Channel. Yet, just 1 month later, tragedy struck during a flying display at Bournemouth. Charles was killed in an air crash. In 1910, Charles Rolls, a 32-year-old daredevil, became the first Briton to die in a plane crash, ending the Rolls-Royce partnership. Henry Royce took charge, driven by an unyielding work ethic. He pursued innovative designs that defined Rolls-Royce, emphasizing perfection and improving what already existed or creating anew. His motto, "Strive for perfection in everything, enhance the best, design the rest." During World War I, the company answered the call of duty, just as Charles had once requested, by manufacturing aero engines. The next couple of decades witnessed Rolls-Royce soaring to new heights. However, amid the triumphs, Henry battled persistently with his health. In 1933, he succumbed to digestive tract problems, a result of his early years of poor nutrition and a lifetime of tireless work. Picture this: Henry, a semi-invalid, hunched over his work desk. But that didn't stop him. He continued to sketch and innovate until the very last moment. His final sketch, executed from his deathbed, just hours before he bid farewell at the age of 70. Fast forward to today, and the name Rolls-Royce still resonates as a symbol of pure, unadulterated wealth. A Rolls-Royce isn't just a car, it's a statement. With over 130 dealerships spread across 40 countries, the brand, currently owned by BMW, continues to produce some of the most opulent vehicles on the planet: the Cullinan, Ghost, Phantom, Wraith, and Dawn. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for more.